It's time. I can't believe it. It feels like it should happen more than it actually does. But DeMu is here for grand finals of our weekly tournament. And he's up against B. What a classic matchup. Excited for this one. I still remember in the early days watching these two non-stop go at it on the ladder. B with the HRE and DeMu with the new groove. It's all the dragon, old versus new, to kick off our best of 7 grand finals. And what a day it has been, folks. DeMu, he had to come back from behind, beating Anatan to get here. That series was 3 hours long after he'd already been live for, I think, 2 to 3 hours. Boy must have been exhausted. So he went and rested up. He got some food in his tummy. And now he's ready to go at it in a best of 7 against one of Midweek Muster's finest. That'd be quite the record on him. I mean, he's been here so many times. I think DeMu's been in grand finals 3 to 4 times maximum, whereas B is up at must be like 15, 20. I feel like it's very rare. From season 1, it was definitely very rare to not see him here. And that is correct. B has not dropped a single map all the way through. Frio's Slash, Frio's Kilyadi, Frio's Voldemar. He's on a vengeance path right now. I don't know. I think there's been an argument that in recent times, recent weeks, B's fallen off a bit, or other people have caught up. But it's great to see he's just striking back with the thought that that's the case. That he's like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still to be feared. I haven't gone anywhere. And this is a classic for B. We know he loves this. It is going to be the Minework opening. Yeah, Minework, very popular with both Anatan and B. Most other players still balance Arcan a lot of the time. Other side, it is going to be a mirrored Minework. Obviously not the same. They play quite differently. But curious to see actually what the opening is going to be exactly from B, because you think it's about all pikes and just getting, you know, spearmen out and crowd like that. But a lot of the time, the value of Minework plays, and this will work for both sides, is the overall blacksmiths, not just the specifically unique techs. So just something to be mindful of. I wonder, is there a world in which DeMu just opens Men-at-Arms? I think Men-at-Arms was really good for Order the Dragon. Like, you go 1 or 2 of them, you force your opponent to react into what? Probably archers to kite. Actually, I guess that's the problem here. Like, in most matchups, having an excuse to go good at Men-at-Arms is good, but against H3 archers, they move so fast, you just get kited non-stop. I think what you have to do is, if you want to go Men-at-Arms as Order the Dragon, you normally have to wait until your opponent goes Men-at-Arms. And then you're like, okay, off to the races. Because even though the Men-at-Arms of H3 are quicker, it's not that much of a drastic difference, right? You can somewhat keep pace. Oh man, dude, that was refreshing to be able to do some trading card game integrations. I'm looking forward to trying that one. Also, by the way, like, I think that was said best. Like, when someone's like, is this expensive? It's like, for card games, it's not. It's like when someone who's never seen the price of a Warhammer 40k model understands what it costs, their eyeballs pop out their head. All right, what was predictions like? 100% for B? Actually, that's not true. Someone put 10 points on DeMu. It's just 17k on B instead. And an immediate... Wait, Pro Scouts? All right, that's a little bit unusual. I was not expecting Minework into Pro Scouts. It feels a little bit... a little bit risky? I mean, it should be fine. The worry I have with this type of play, right, is like you're a little bit less efficient than if you went Arcan. But looking at the spawn, it might be tough to actually get the deer home. Normally, Gorge, where it looks good when you're against an aggressive player, is when you have the split deer. That's not the case here. However, DeMu is not aggressing. Well, not this age anyway. He's aggressively targeting age 3. Interesting. And I imagine, what? You don't prelates here, right? This is going to be Burgrave. So maybe just spear spam? I think vet spear spam for Gilded is really, really good, actually. Even more so because this is not going to be your spear spam from HRE. So yeah, Pro Scouts completes. He's stockpiling resources, so maybe Pro Scouts fast castle for B? An absolute blast from the past. DeMu. If he notices it's Pro Scouts, he might be able to get away with Regnants. It's very rare you say that of Fast Castle or the Dragon. The problem with them fast casting compared to HRE is like, look at HRE right now. If he went Fast Castle with Regnants, he's already going to have Prelates to move out in position. But for DeMu, he would have to tech up and then start building them. And yeah, Burgrave just too good to resist. It gives you firepower. You know, that's the big problem. Like, without this, you just don't have any entities to fight back with. Outpost from B just to secure himself. Alright, knowing where this is going, predictions closed already. One's if you think B is going to win this, two's if you prefer DeMu's strat. Because if he sees the stables, knows it's Pro Scouts, you're probably thinking Spears over Men-at-Arms. I don't think that's necessarily bad. It gets you a lot more units quicker than if you go Men-at-Arms. You're probably going to want the Spears over Men-at-Arms, because the other thing to worry about with this type of build from B, Steel Barding. He can just spam out Knights. Really powerful Knights. And he actually goes Men-at-Arms. Interesting. What's the thought here? I guess he's probably thinking, okay, B hasn't aged up yet, and he's going to be slow on getting the units out when he does. Like, even if he goes Knights, Knights take 35 seconds. I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, like maybe 60%, 70% Men-at-Arms, and then 30% Spears. So it might be once he hears the age up, he adds in a few. Because they're surprisingly good even against Castle Age Knights. I think the goal here is because he's so quick on the age up, he should be able to deny. And remember, this is a Mindwork build, so he will have access to Golden Cuirass to make him feel unkillable underneath that TC. Hunt across towards the gold. I guess the other thing that DeMu looked at and saw here is with it being a 4th gold, if he idles this out, B doesn't get anything. And what? It's Burgrave on both sides. So Mindwork and Burgrave, these two are just Spider-Man memeing right now. Yeah, I don't think anyone would have maybe anticipated Mindwork, Burgrave when getting into this one. This is pretty cool though. Good Men-at-Arms. I'm going to start diving under the gold. Should be able to idle this back. He needs as much gold here as he can get to get then back towards the food. We'll try to micro work his way, but so difficult. Yeah, this is the tricky part. 17 damage means you can get free hit by these Men-at-Arms. They also attack quicker than standard MAA. Someone that's not MIA is their health. It's barely moving. Dive underneath the TC. Benjamin, what is this sinful behavior? 2 worker kills already. Men-at-Arms now coming out to contest. Remember, this is where you kind of get ran down a little bit. Another interesting thought here, actually. Did B go Men-at-Arms with Burgrave because of the buff to Burgrave? Forlorn Hope, remember, it gives you charge damage now. So your initial hit is much, much harder than it used to be. And you can always just hit, retreat, because you're quicker by default. Oh, that was a sick switch. I love that. B waste no time getting the deer home. Men-at-Arms now with the clash. Golden Cuirass just came in, but in response, we've got the heavy maces. And he's going to be able to club them down 2 for 2. Great trade there for B. Final Men-at-Arms has to run away. Okay, so the Men-at-Arms strat is kind of falling apart a little for DeMu, no? He has achieved some idle time, but he's now taking risks out onto deer himself. He's also going to get eclipsed on Men-at-Arms numbers pretty fast here. Like, currently, DeMu is definitely ahead, guys. Having 5 Gilded Men-at-Arms to 7 H3 Men-at-Arms is an overwhelming edge. The problem, as we're seeing here, is they aren't together. No, he's trickle trooping. Oof. These are expensive losses. Same price as a knight. And the Forlorn Hope really is making a difference here on that charge-in. I need to double-check that, actually, because I haven't tested it. Forlorn Hope, does anyone know, when you do the charge-in, does it affect bonus as well? I don't think so. But even if it doesn't, you're still doing 18 damage on the first strike instead of 12. Alright, but you might want to calm down here. Like, this is a bit of a dicey fight. DeMu has got ape-strong mentality. DeMu on relics? Dude, he's got 2 relics. Look at B. He's just snatched 3. The moment he got out of the base, he's snatching everything. Deer, relics, everything. Oh, this is a classic issue with Order of the Dragon. Is like choice paralysis. Only it's like there's so many things. It's choice paralysis the way that, like, you know, you go into a shop. You could buy everything when you're HRE. You can't when you're Order of the Dragon. You have to choose. It means you're giving up something. There's just not enough units to guard everywhere. Get a crossbowman now coming out. That should reset B. Because he wins the men-at-arms war, but the crossbowman's a different affair. This is meant to be. Alright, this is getting a bit overly aggressive from B. Yeah, and he realizes it. He does reset. Still, space created. He's gonna find the deer gathering too. The spearman does snatch the kill. Good. That's nicely played. The gilded spearman intercepts. Still, I don't know if he's gonna be quick enough to move across here. Those men-at-arms should still find their way. Great choice, DeMu. He knows the spearman's dead, so he runs him away to buy time. Well played. B. He knew. He knew. Scout already revealed, so that's going to be 8 gilded villagers that just can't be here. You know, if it was a spearman, you just kill him down, but against 2 men-at-arms. Wait, no, select all army, please. Oh, no. Okay, I guess taking the deer away is as good as killing villagers. Well, not really, but it's consolation. Select all army is not your friend, guys, and this is kind of proof of it. He should have already been idling out the deer. B now with the horseman switch, but not ready yet. No, he should have the food underneath the TC to do this. He just snuck out onto the flanks of gold. Gilded villagers are now going to get idled out. And reminder, folks, the marching drills makes you pretty quick on the chase. Wheelbarrow should be the saving grace for DeMu. Maybe a formation shuffle just to make sure. Ball play on the other flank. That's a really good ball placement, actually. You could technically just wall this and be safe. I love the no bars held approach to this game. You know, you would have thought that someone would just try and boom up, but no, it's just blood, blood, blood. DeMu with the classic big gold reserves. Good suit to have a lot of gold on, actually. I don't know if you want a land snake here, but like 1 land snake would be pretty nice against the men-at-arms. Not that many crossbows yet, but considering opponents going that direction, I imagine horsemen? Gilded horsemen are a very valuable unit, actually, for OOTD. One of the better. Now, if I had to list the best units Order of the Dragon have, Gilded crossbowmen, Gilded hand cannoneer, then I probably would put horsemen, actually. They're very high up there. I think knights are pretty overrated. There was a time where people thought they were great, and then they realized it's kind of a bait. They don't die, but they don't do enough for what they cost. Still just guarding that deer. So that means that B got, what, about 2.5 deer stacks? Because this got gathered up mostly, and some of this got taken. So actually, considering he didn't pro scouts, DeMu done reasonably well out of this. He now chasing the crossbows. Now remember, DeMu has engagement advantage, but B's advantage is chase down. No more horsemen though from B. Men-at-arms, good place to idle up. Catch the tree line. It's a little bit surprising actually we haven't got more ponies. But that's being fixed now. B, he's even going for the veterancy. Continues to chase the prelates. A little bit chaotic. Multiple fights across the map in a way that you normally wouldn't expect Order of the Dragon to be engaging with. Crossbow is going to be able to counterplay this. It's going to be another worker loss. Main army, very slow to retreat. Is trying to turn around to fight back. But these are expensive losses. This is the thing we talked about with Atri versus All the Dragon. If you have number advantage, sure, you just turn, fight, don't care. But then Atri can always run away. The problem is when you have to run away. The chase down is vicious. The micro here from B, not ideal. There, the crossbow's standing their ground for a very long time. Turns on the gilded ones instead. But DeMu getting a fantastic trade out of this. B. A little bit surprised, actually, he was trying to trade with the crossbows, but it's the easier thing to kill. The reason it's surprising to me is he's planning a horseman transition, so I thought he'd just try and snipe the men-at-arms and then flood horses. DeMu. Is he ready for the horseman? Probably not. If he hugs the Guild Crossman men-at-arms, you can kind of get away with it. The only concern is if B gets 2 minutes, just non-stop pump this. Ram now coming up. Not easy to get a kill on the base with one ram. Horseman? Oh, wait, he switched targets. Okay, some idle time achieved. I think he did. Yeah, he got one worker. That's unfortunate, though, because B could have at least got 2 out of that. Still, the idle time helps. He needs someone to slow this down. Buy time to hide his hand. The problem is that vet horseman on the back does reveal it already. Could appreciate that KP's made it to a point where he has to circle for responses. It's pretty good, right? I mean, we're only circling between 2, technically. But yeah, it's a good start. We're going up to that 4-5 mark regularly working with. I'm sure if you guys come in big and make sure you're following the Heroes campaign, make sure you click on that link when it pops up. And even back it, man. It looks cool. If you're a Heroes fan, worth checking out. Then who knows? We might be able to get them to come back on other things. Or maybe the expansion. He with his own ball play. Horseman. Oh, I love this. He's not ready for the main engagement, so he cuts away at the economy. That means that DeMu's on the clock. Sends it into base. All pikes queued up as well. Great boon towards your DPS, even at this stage. Rams. Moving in towards the relic location. E-repair is used on the outpost because it has got a spring replacement, but the prelate chain heal coming in strong here. Crossbows are going to bait the men-at-arms out of position. This is the tricky part, is that DeMu, when it's crossbow v crossbow like this, but you've got melee involved, it's very difficult to get the favorable exchange. Your opponent can just tease the edge of the fight. And the crazy part about this, B hasn't even brought everything home. He's been raiding out on the flank still with the horsemen. Placement should be going down soon. DeMu still with the triple prelate. Remember, he's got inspired warriors, which makes this a lot trickier for the horseman crossbows. And what is up, Denzel? Appreciate the prime sub. Keep those subs coming, guys. Grand finals Thursday. You go big or go home. A big shout to DeMu, man. Like, this is well past when he's usually streaming. But he's putting up an impressive game number 1. B with the interception. Wallah as a yoink occurs. DeMu, he did bring the exact amount of relic boys required. And it's going to force B to commit. Jumps in with a few horsemen, leading the way. Crossbows diving past this. Needs to rally the reinforcements back. But it's evening up the numbers. DeMu had about a 20 military lead. No more. The crossbows start a step away. Wallah of his own. B just trying to distract to buy some time here. The horsemen rotate around the back, but the men-at-arms do intercept them. And more on the way. This is the backstab. This is the moment he's been looking for. DeMu, he doesn't have enough men-at-arms. The crossbows jump in. B wipes the critical backline. And DeMu reset to zilch. All that, and what did he claim? 1 relic is all. It's a yoink, it's a heist, but an ugly affair, because while this dive has been ramming towards him, ramping up, B was not idle without effort. He built a worker lead that matters here, up by 12 over DeMu. DeMu now rushing up outposts, needs those emplacements to play the same way that B did to try and hold that area. The heist looks so good. I mean, B, he stretched that out to the maximum. If he waited any longer, relics would have been away from the base and he would have been crying about it. Oh, what a champ. Fractional difference to give him control now. Ben, probably shaking his head, thinking about what could have been the ultimate relic heist, but ultimately denied. Farm count is at least looking good for him. That's something that B has problems with. He's only really just began. 7 farms compared to DeMu over here at 19. That's the upside for him. His food income is starting to get to that point where he should be able to ramp up. At the moment, you're seeing that B is still dominating him off of temporary food sources. Yeah, it's the ball that's making the difference. DeMu, even if he got back here, it's only 96 food left. It's basically gone. Full focused effort on the farms. B now even switching to archers. He noticed the spim in transition. And the good news is, like, if your opponent's going archers, things like that, it's very hard to dive these areas and stay here because of the emplacements. Bad news is you're just setting up for a countered situation anyway. Let's pick a white meat or a red meat. It's definitely a red meat. It's not so... Wait, what do you mean that is definitely red? Some pink in there, but that's definitely red. What does your red look like? Well, when I bleed, it's blue. I think you need to see a doctor. DeMu just trying to get back to that good old crossbow ball. Such a different game now, though. Before, the horseman standard was low, right? There wasn't enough of them. But B, such a dominant position. Look at this. Is he thinking about Imperial? See the difference in stream quality? That's why you want to be watching us in there before directory. We got you covered. And shout out to PCSpecialist. Couldn't actually do it without them. This laptop is god tier for these streams. And just look at the clarity on these boys. These legends. All pikes is actually pretty underrated at this stage. When you think about it, it's still a 15% increase in damage off of all pikes. 15 damage horsemen? That's how much a gilded horseman does in feudal. Doesn't sound that impressive when I say feudal, but in fairness, it costs double the price of a normal pony. Rotation. Oh no. Okay, he's got the castle. DeMu's safe there. He had the right idea, but won't be able to get the breach. But he won't need it. Look at what we've got. It's Palace of Schwabia, triple sacred site. B in chill mode. DeMu, no signs of an age up himself. He's still just massing. Problem is he's been massing defensively, so he's not really in a position to do anything about this. To punish his opponent for the age up. What was the weak point of B? Probably his farm state? He's gone to Cistercian Abbeys, but he's actually weirdly enough not using it. Yeah, he's setting up the farms around it. But remember, guys, like, he has Cistercian. He can just drop off here anyway. I think B, it's almost just like an automatic response. You don't really think about it at the moment. Yeah, he's missing out on that buff. He's even got a prelate standing over here instead of just hopping in and building around the monastery. Same with the tree line, same with the gold. Remember, guys, like, the monastery is a little bit more pricey at 200, but it's worth it to get that buff. Yeah, so that's an upside for DeMu is that B isn't really playing HRE currently. I mean, say that. He's got 8 prelates. He can. He could just definitely be more lean than this. DeMu, he's gradually getting kills over here. I'm telling you guys, these gilded horsemen are kind of wild. Vet, and he does 20 damage. So I'm going to find a few worker kills. I like that DeMu isn't overreacting to the tech play. He's getting some eco damage done to devalue Palace of Schwabia and just getting his own setup. I mean, looks good for B currently, but guys, anyone who's like, good effort, but GG, it's not over. Another big problem here is that B hasn't anchored his big gold. whereas DeMu has. He's got a castle drop. That does worry me a little, though. The fact that we've already tapped through 7,000 gold on this thing. 7,000. You know what this guy is? He's the person that gets the extra big bucket of popcorn and still goes through it before we're through the trailers, you know? This is like this. DeMu with this gold vein is like me with Vitti's Jaffa Cakes. You thought you were like rationing it out and being strategic, and then you look down, the whole pack's gone. If you guys have not tried McVitie's Jaffa Cakes, by the way, you've missed out. I had some Canadian friends over in the UK the other day. I said to them that you have to have these. Like, we have Jaffa Cakes in the US. It's not the same. Not even close. McVitie's Jaffa Cakes, once NA people have tasted them, it changes their life. Interesting that B has 10 prelates and yet has no one buffing with Inspired Warriors. He hasn't even got the tech. Americans don't like Jaffa Cakes. That's because they haven't got McVitie's, I'm telling you. It's a life changer. It's like you guys, it's like Americans discovering that like cream eggs is a thing. Like, oh my god. You know what it's like? It's like people who just casually play or watch Age of Empires 4, but they don't know about Midweek Muster. And then they experience it. And they're like, I should be here every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. You should. Because you miss out on gems like this otherwise. DeMu, not dead yet. The tricky part is how you now secure the map. The castle drop was good, but like, think walls. B is. B, he has that ticking time bomb. Spears are on the way, though. They're elited up, and these fortifications aren't in yet. No spring walls, no fortification. Great read by DeMu will not enable a win condition for B. So decap should be coming in. B having something to say about it is marching across, but yet to get his elite techs all in. His spearmen and normies. You have an archer switch up coming in. B pulling the workers, but not being able to repair. Horseman. I'm just saying, those guys do 76 damage. Do we want to do this? You get 3 hit kills. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno until the crossbows arrive, and that's when Doom will realize this is cooked. Minus 10 spears? Oh man, that's 1,600 resources down the drain. All this food income for 1 minute dying. In what? 15 seconds when they finally engage? Sacred Site time is still ticking. Props to him. I thought B might just give it over, reset, come again, and build real defenses. He makes it work. Already has the fortifications over here. Decap attempt now from DeMu. This is the thing that I think can infuriate people about HRE. They are so fast. Little Speedy Gonzalez's. The Michael Schumachers of the medieval. They've got the movement speed with marching drills to get infantry across in time. Horseman. This is actually a really good raid. B's got textiles to slow it down a bit. He shivs out, but it's ugly, right? Like these horsemen, they've got 360 HP. Death is not something they're familiar with. Horseman now just surging in. The decap was underway. These spear replacements are proving to be problematic. And yeah, of course an Englishman's going to cite Schumacher over Hamilton. We're watching German civs. Dude, like, I'm not one of those guys who tries to shoehorn my civ in everywhere. You know, imagine, oh, let's say like Sweden wins the World Cup. And yeah, you know, they really benefit from playing against the English squad. Learned so much in that. Like, do the whole British thing where, like, if Anatan had been here instead of DeMu, you're like, well, you know, clearly Anatan learned so much from that DeMu series. That's why he was able to come in and face off against... Nah, we ain't one of those people. Unless you're talking about how well some of these players play in big tournaments. Clearly, because of KPMM. Yeah, B, this is the push to kill. DeMu, the problem is you've got all these crossbows. It's not great when you step up to these sacred sites. Oh, no. This is taking over. I've seen B do this before on the new map Bazaar. He's making outposts look so broken at the moment for HRE. Cheap defenses, man. Keep drop attempt, though. DeMu not done yet. That is a sneaky claim to the northern sacred site. Cannon placement is on the way. B, I don't think he has the burn power here. He's got too many crossbowmen. Not enough torch. No, I don't practice my daily archery decided by my country. I do my like weekly climbing though. Like what country would be climbers? What is the climbing country? I know someone's gonna say something like Sweden or like Norway, but that's actually all BS. If we accept it for what it really is, Japan is now the climbing nation. I've seen how they climb in bouldering, and it's insane. This could be an insane hole for DeMu. Castle's about to get the cannon placement. He just dropped a relic inside, which is going to buff the damage by a pretty penny. 91 per strike now into the elite spear and crossbows. B sees it and backs away, quite rightly so. Corvin gets queued up. Remember, the range on this bad boy, 11.4 tower range on the cannon. Brutal. Still, he is the one who has to step up. He's the one who has to crack this location. Corvin now coming out for Ben. It's all focus here. It's difficult to sneak anywhere else. B's even staying up the stone walls to ensure that. Feels like this is going to be decided by the north side. DeMu, helping on military hop. This size, different matter. Remember, 2 into 1 here. B has double the entities. That front line, though, it's just lasting so long. With the Inspired Warriors tech, the 4 armor, they don't die as fast as you'd like to see if you're B. The outpost and placements with the spring ords. They're starting to hit that soft underbelly. The archers as well with the silk bowstrings to chase this away. Corvin trying to break through, not able to do so. 3 minutes to go until a 3D clan victory. Go to crossbows at the tail end. And hold. I think B really would benefit from full production. Everything is running from his base right now, one of the big problems. Also, Burgrave just not being overflowed. Outposts are failing. So B, I mean, he... Is he favored here? He's starting to get hand cannoneers. That's a sure sign way of trying to break this. Now though, DeMu been pretty sturdy with the crossbow line. Starts to eat away at this. A pause on the timer. Both of them are trying to hold on to this though. B, it's a constant trickle. While DeMu, you notice he's playing this very differently. Less a trickle and more a punch. Right, loses a big chunk of the wave, goes back, resets, punch again. B's just taking more of a Congo line of death approach. His army is really deceptive as well. 14 prelates. They're not going to compete here. I feel like B kind of hurt himself without the Inspired Warriors. It's such a big, obvious value point that gets overlooked a lot of the time here. But B can't do it. DeMu gets the decap, keeps his hopes alive here, removes the sword of Damocles dangling over his head. Decent position now. Relic game favors him. Sacred Site still generating enough gold for B to compete. We do actually have the Inspired Warriors not used, but at least we're using the Cistercian now. In some cases, anyway. Not all. It's a very weird economy, actually, from B in this game. Sometimes it just feels very awkward to try and micromanage monastery placements, because the aura isn't very big anyway. What a start to the series at B. I mean, I think a lot of people watching this are probably thinking for DeMu, it needs to be a fast victory. He's not a player known for liking playing deep into the evening. He prefers the early sets. So if this goes all the way to 7 games, how's he going to look? Is he going to be able to hold up? I know he had some cooking to do before he got into this set, so he probably didn't have enough time to sneak in a nap to rejuvenate. Has at least got the food buff going, which, I mean, if B did food buff, it would have been him just cramming something that resembles food into his mouth. He only had 15 minutes. Benjamin, we're not even in final form here. This whole while, these 360 HP horsemen have not had the biology. He also doesn't have Incendiary. Is he missing all Unitex? It feels like it, actually. So there's still a lot of wiggle room here. DeMu's not even in final form. See? Brute force in the choke point. He's got a lot of upgrades. He's got Incendiary. He's got the extra range on the archer from Silk Bowstrings. Isn't into biology or elite army tactics yet, but he's heading there. It's always a sticking point, isn't this? Cannon placement's very hard for B to push into. This is going to be such a long game. I might have to bump one of my creators. I think I scheduled a call for them at 10 p.m., which is in 2.5 hours. I'm like, well, we should be done by then. We're already 5.5 hours into the broadcast day. Someone said it best first. For that first series, they're like, you might set a record for longest finals day today. And I agree. He gets a push in, but now with no spearman really left, DeMu gets that counter-offensive. Good hits for the horseman. He did try hand cannoneers temporarily, but just didn't pay off here at all. I think we're going to have to start talking about trade soon. B's got the reliable 800 gold, but I feel like your goal here is now trying to find a way into hand cannoneers, no? Might seem a bit tricky, I guess, because gilded crossbows can snipe you on the entry. I like the DeMu's just going raiding around the flanks. Essentially getting more space by doing this. It lets him consolidate power around the central sacred sites. Love the fort production, by the way. It's so underrated and sadly so underdone by many players. So important to get that next wave in. If you think about it, like most late games, you're not going to win off the first wave. It's the second, third, fourth wave that comes after that. It's all about consistent push when you get to late game. And obviously having the economy to enable it. Interesting switch into Gilded Archer's mass. I do like it though. I think sometimes the archers get slapped on at this stage for Order of the Dragon. There's speeds to justify it. You count the enemy archers as well because you do have extra range by default on Gilded Archers. Remember, you have 0.5 extra. On top of that, there's the armor. He's at 6 armor. If he brings the Inspired Warrior across, he can get 7 ranged armor on archers. The other nice thing about Gilded Archers I find in late game fights is late game fights can often turn into an A-click standstill. And that's where Gilded Archers look best. Their biggest problem in the early mid game is there's too much movement. So they don't really benefit in those situations because their attack speed is so low that start stepping is bad for them. Horseman raids are getting cleared up. Now, second wave comes in. B, I mean, it's all these outposts, but they're all a fallacy. They don't have emplacements in them. Incendiary also on the way to get those Gilded Archers their final form. To maybe get DeMu across the line and with a game 1 win. He's shutting down these farms well. B has got big food reserves though, so might actually enable him to just remax into military. Horsemen are going to jump in. Expensive loss actually for Ben. Against any other Civ, you say it was worth it to kill those guys, but remember, this is against Palace of Schwabia. Farm surrounding a monastery? Yeah, you remember they added Cistercian abbeys. So you can basically turn these into mini Archons now. It's made Atre's late game so much more pliable, so much more flexible than it used to be. They used to suffer in a big way because of that. Like, you know, your Arkham was everything. If it got shut down, your game was over. Late game HRE is trash. Agreed. Like, this is the problem with HRE. Unless you can find a way into Black Riders, the late game has always been kind of underwhelming by average standards. And what I mean by that is the timing that you would be in Imperial. Like, we're all in Imperial. The big advantage for HRE is they're very much a timing scene. Their economy inflates them ahead of their opponents. They don't have that many great unique units for late game. Land Snakes, you run out of gold. Men-at-Arms, Heavy Maces seems cool in theory, but we've seen it just fall flat time and time again. Black Riders is really the get out of jail free card to redesign them and envision them as a late game civ. But B doesn't have the capacity to get to that. No, he needs more keeps. 10 Black Riders isn't going to turn the game. Spimmer's starting hitting towards the farms. DeMu. Maybe it's time for him to stonewall a little. I think he's playing a bit more defensive because he's worried about raids. But if he stonewalls up, he doesn't have to care. Both players pretty much dry on gold. How many Black Riders per keep? So you'll get your hands on 5. It's got 2 keeps online right now. If you go for Elsback, you get more. It's 8 per keep. But remember, he went Swabius. That's not an option. Raid to the farms again. I don't think that this is what kills B. DeMu doesn't maybe know it, but B's sitting on a very big food reserve. The better thing to actually find would be B's wood. A little bit of it's here, but more likely it's going to be snuck on the flanks like over here. I guess one thing that is interesting to think about here, we mentioned about HRE's late game sucking, but like this is all pikes and it is also the Forlorn Hope. So it's a little bit different than your standard HRE. He's got the charge damage on things like Men-at-Arms, which scales decently at this stage in the game, actually. These Men-at-Arms, they're hitting for 15 base, so an extra 7.5 damage on the first hit. About to be even better, because Elite Army Tactics has been queued by B. Trying to burn his way through these horsemen, but the second wave comes in. Oh no! DeMu, he doesn't have enough spears! He's got 14 queued up, only 3! B with the jump in, exactly what he needed, when he needed it most! Starts to brute force his way through the Gilded Archer wave. He's got to keep momentum going though. There's a big reserve of troops that DeMu stacked up to burn through. Doesn't look like it because of the Order of the Dragon, but you have to take this number of 25 times it by 2. There's 50 units in backlog essentially. Keep pushing with momentum here. DeMu does get that second wave in. B, the Cav line, not looking so sick anymore. Only 3 of them remaining. Second wave coming through, but now the Gilded Horsemen jump onto his back line. The Gilded Archers look to clear what little resists them here. I think B's going to be killed by his wood at this rate. He should have so much more. There's confirmation. Trade has begun. DeMu will blink first, but B mirrors it already. 3 trades for him, 6 for DeMu. Okay, who's more threatening with gold, though? I think if DeMu ever gets to a point where he can justify Gilded Hand Cannoneers, you're probably looking at game. You know what? Oh, actually, no. It's not even Gilded Hand Cannoneers. You know what bust this open? I know I rated them badly, but that's for like early in the game. Gilded Knights. Gilded Knights in the hyper late with the damage reduct and just their scaling health are pretty disgusting. You just never see it because it's not efficient on cost. It feels like, you know, you pay 480 resources for this unit, but it feels like it's at best worth 360 for its efficiency. But like when you scale biology, inspired warriors, it's really powerful. But now though, it's going to be the Men-at-Arms, which has a similar impact courtesy of the Golden Cuirass. DeMu just constantly cycling into the food line. It's starting to have an impact at this stage though, considering B Doesn't have that 5k reserve he did when he last got hit here. Not just that. You find not just the food workers, but also the gold. I don't know if this game is ever going to end. Is anyone else sitting here feeling the same way? Like, huh? It's been a constant push here in the center. Oh my god, dude. On the day when my throat is so dead. They do this to me. Horseman jumping in again. B griefing with his own walls, but oh, what a grab! He gets all the hand cannons, all the archers rather. Look at the military! All pikes for the all-in. B, 41 ponies. It's so sick. What a break. DeMu, he just queued up 25 men at arms. Right idea, but that's going to take time. Even then, you can just get kited and avoided. DeMu, his trade line, it's coming straight through here. Good rematch by DeMu after the losses, but B, camping the air for the time being. Insane. I want you guys to process the destroyed value. You can see it there. That jump in on the archers made up like a giant chunk of this, right? He lost, let's say it was 20 gilded archers, roughly. That was 3,200 resources just evaporating in a few seconds. Crazy fight, RB. These annoying little trickle raids. They never do enough. This is just doing. The amount of outposts is getting ridiculous. All right, outpost prediction count. How many outposts do you think B has built this game? How many castles do you think DeMu has built this game? Or rather, how many do you think are standing now? I'm freaking losing count. So B has got only 12 outposts, which is a bit surprising. But in total, he must have built like 30 this game. DeMu, on the other hand, 4 castles. Just imagine if the castle count was there for B. He's at 3 now, though. We did talk about Black Riders. His trade is getting up a little bit. There might be some potential for it. Black Riders are actually very good with mine work. There's one tech left in it, and that's the steel barding that gives the armor. So if he gets enough gold income to get into Black Riders, you'll end up with, this stage of the game, I believe it's 9 ranged armor, which is fantastic against these 16 damage archers. +100 field kills and barely behind. Welcome to Schwabia. Love Hotel. Breeding zone. Every room is romping. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how little it matters losing workers when you reproduce them every 7 seconds. See? Pushing forward again. Once more into that breach. These are the best games to viewers? I don't know. I think these can be, but things have to be happening. This has been a constant tug of war in the center for like the last 10 or 15 minutes, I feel like. I think that's when it's like less epic for people. Like the fights are cool, but when you look a bit deep, you're like, okay, someone has to give up. Like someone has to die soon, right? Surely at some point, someone breaks. Tossed away 30 cav. Not able to break through. DeMu still has the trade going, 10 traders in total, but being out to 13 is getting better for him. Some rotation around the back. The amount of help. I can't with this outpost spam. It's never bloody ending. B's not going to be happy until there's an outpost on every screen location on this map. The problem here is because both players are trading, they're never running out of gold. So this can technically go on for probably about another 40 minutes. Wood will be the limiting factor. And DeMu... Okay, he's being a bit of a beaver, but no more so than B is. They have, I want to say, fairly similar wood reserves. Maybe B with a slight edge here. Oh, yeah, definitely. B's got like 2 extra wood lines, I think. It's an attempt to break the side. Futile, though. Workers nearby. This is the tricky thing with Gorge. I think we talked about this a while ago, where like Gorge was epic when it first came out, and then people figured out how to navigate. These type of games are a lot rarer these days, though, simply because it's very difficult to get to this stage. Mainly because walling got so much harder in this game. He's freaking too. All this because the remainder 2 minutes to 6, right? Like, that's what I was about to say. I can't believe we were, once upon a time, 3 clear minutes, 2 minutes clearly away from the game ending. And that was that like 20 minutes ago? Yeah, it's times like this that you realize that sometimes Age of Empires 4 is less of a sprint, more of a marathon. Who's got the stamina for it? Like, reminder, Ben first opened Age of Empires 4 to play it about 8 to 9 hours ago today. He started a little bit later. B shows no signs of letting up. Yeah, B is usually on pretty late into the evening, actually. I feel like that's been the case for a long time. Normally the challenge is getting him to wake up early enough for something. Why is B trained so well? All pikes. It really does make a difference. +2 damage at this stage than what you should have. It skews the balance of Horseman v Horseman a bit. Just cutting into the flanks now, actually. DeMu trying to mirror it with smaller numbers. Oh my, that's a... I'm not going to say a big hit. But it might be, over time, this castle drop is toxic. Yeah, B can't trade. His traders should get sniped as they come in now. He's got big reserves, 3,000 gold in the bank. He has queued up rams to try and deal with this, but that means he's burning through his wood quicker. We did talk about wood as the defining factor between these two. So this feels like a perfect time to talk to you guys about that Heroes and Magic integration. We got time. Guys, seriously, check out the card game while you got a second. I don't think this game's going to end in the next 2 minutes. You're safe. Also, can we just shout out PCSpecialist for how well this laptop is handling chaotic late games? I feel like we could host a free-for-all tournament and stream it at 2K and have no frame drop at all. That's crazy to think about. Constant horseman race in the back. I think DeMu's doing a good job of keeping B reacting, which is difficult to do against HRE due to their movement speed. Normally, they're the ones that are able to send it to you a bit quicker. You know what the sad thought about this is, though? This game could be like 2 hours long, and then just watch the next 3 be 10 minutes. It would be a hell of an achievement for DeMu as well. Reminder that he's played in a total of 34 midweek musters out of, I believe, 39 in total. And across all that time, can anyone in chat guess how many times DeMu has won midweek muster? Put a number in. 0 times. You are correct. He's been in grand finals twice. That was back in the first edition in week 9 and 10, where he lost to none other than B both times. He's been here before. He's had this exact experience before against this exact player. This time, he refuses to let it be a rollover and die. Always Benjamin's kryptonite. More castle drops coming in from DeMu. His own trade. Oh, he gets burnt out. He's got reasonable gold reserves. Nothing too crazy, but he's got a little bit of time to work with. And B. Oh, my. That's a game changer. He's using Inspired Warriors now. I don't think he's got a... Oh, okay. It's accidental. It's just basically units running past the eco line. And what's up, Werner? Appreciate the sub, mate. Welcome back to Swarm. Remember, guys, get those subs in! Game 1 of this series, and we're about to hit the hour mark. How many ads would that have been in your face? A lot, but definitely not as many horsemen as DeMu's had in his face this entire game. The military count is getting low, though. He's kind of struggling to keep up with this, actually. Spear is trading remarkably well into this. Even just Gilded Spearmen and Men-at-Arms is surprisingly effective. Their base damage, like they're at 24 per strike into Men-at-Arms that hit for 25. Not bad. Not bad life. B just looks to delete the infrastructure down here. It's just tricky for DeMu, though. Yeah, you're seeing what's happening here. He put all his production north side, so having to run across the map like this does put him at a disadvantage, despite the military count being in his favor. It's not really in this fight right now. And sure, B has to run across as well, but remember, his units move quicker. That has a weird ripple effect as the long fights happen in this area. Because for DeMu, his units might take longer to die, but when they do, there's a giant gap on their production as well as, you know, the arrival. Whereas B is kind of more consistently blobbing and losing units. So it keeps more of a... I guess the way you could describe it is like a trickle versus a flow. Like a flood, rather. But that flood is incremental. It's exactly why B has been able to contain and maintain good fights on the south side. Now I'm going to be forced to retreat a little bit. Only temporarily. We've got a hand cannoneer switch. Hello. The moment we've been waiting for. Is it the right moment for it, though? DeMu has queued up quite a lot of men-at-arms. I don't even want to try and math. Like, you know, we got a mathematician in chat, I'm sure. Someone do the rough calculations of how many thousands of resources DeMu has got in backlog here queued. The men-at-arms alone is almost 5,000 resources. I think he's got about 8,000 resources queued up. B has next to nothing. Right? So, like, if this just turns into nothing substantially changing the economy, push continues, DeMu has the reserve, B does not. Freaking wild. Like, I think this is the confusing thing for people who are watching All the Dragons sometimes. It doesn't look like a lot, but you always have to remember to double the Q count to compare it to other civs. Trade post still in that corner. But DeMu able to keep active with the 16 traders. Maybe a little bit of trickle burn through here. Creep 1 or 2 in. We are now officially at the hour mark. This is the longest game of Midweek Muster Season 2, Week 8. And it still has no end in sight. B is struggling a little bit to hold true and pop, though. It's an important thing to keep an eye on here. Now, don't remind me it's the first game. I mean, there's usually a jinx effect to this. I feel like we've often had these opening games that go an hour long, and then every game afterwards is fast. It's almost like there's a deflation effect when you lose that first game. And it's like, okay, what was this world? Be outnumbered now. It's kind of hilarious just how often the Gilded Archers are willing to fight and fight reasonably well into the Horsemen. DeMu loves these long games. Normally, yes. I don't know if I'd say he loves them this late into the evening for him. It is still getting in for the time being. The wood is it almost gone? Outside the ford tree lines, yeah. Okay, no. Ben's got this, and he's got a safety corner. So he's got some leeway. He's just trying to snatch wood from his opponent's side at this stage. Wait a second. Black Riders just got queued up. Is this actually the time, though? Your opponent has a decent number of Gilded Crossbowmen is the concern here. Remember, Black Riders, these are the mounted hand cannoneers, the speedy boys. 281 HP. He doesn't have the armor yet, though, so be worth getting Steel Barding here to go up to 9 armor on those bad boys. Still, if he sends them into the economy, chasing the trading line, they're very good for that role, at least. You know what we actually need? Cal was in here feeling pretty smug about his tech earlier. Well, here's a challenge for you, Cal. When are you adding a tree counter to your UI? I never have to say that anymore because it rarely gets to this point. But I remember in the early days of AoE4, it's like you actually need a tree counter. You need a way of being able to like calculate the amount of trees left on the map to know how long the game's going to go. Because that should be what decides this at this rate. He does reveal the Black Riders. Rams are starting to sneak into the farms. A nuisance arriving here. It looks like DeMu has kind of said to hell with it and just sent some troops elsewhere for good reason. Militarily, he's outgunning B pretty hard here. I say outgunning is probably the wrong word. It's the one thing that DeMu doesn't have. No hand cannoneers. Gilded Horsemen, a good answer to Black Riders. They might have 7 melee armor, but redundant against 43 damage per strike. Keep in mind that B is paying a pretty penny for those. 300 resources for a Black Rider. Someone's like, no way this match's still going. In my brain, I just started hearing the lyrics to All Night Long. More marketplaces re-added. Yeah, only 250 worker kills so far. Only an accumulative 360,000 destroyed value. It's small fries, guys. It's just small fries. No biggie. Awesome, take a poke at it. And B is committing to this Black Rider idea now. And he has to try it. At this stage, you have to try something different. Definition of insanity. You've been doing the same thing over and over again for an hour. Sovereigns will be protected. Killed a horseman with 450 HP. This is silly. Just don't die. I weighed up whether I should drink more of this caffeinated drink as it's 8 PM now. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be here a while. And Barded Armor just got queued up. So it's double hand cannon here? Meanwhile, Gilded Crossbowman. I mean, it is actually good enough to deal with both of these, technically. DeMu. Always just casually throwing it around to see what the state of things are. I think we're almost out of wood, sire. We're almost out of wood, sire. Yeah, he's moving this tree line here. He's got the one in the corner, which DeMu does know about. Then stragglers. The end is almost nigh. I actually think B's going to win this. Because of the hand cannoneer switch. Eventually, you can't afford wood. It's just food and gold. And then B will have a huge edge in that department. Because DeMu has not built a single hand cannoneer this entire game. Actually, he maybe built like 3 or 4 earlier on. But that's been it. He's just driving his way towards the trade. Cannoneers will try to protect the culverins. Second wave of horsemen coming through here. Meanwhile, B's horsemen and his gunners do go into the tree line. Now remember, DeMu, he's relying heavily still on the spearmen, the horsemen. Then again, he's still got a huge queue to clear. 46 gilded spearmen? Alright, that may be a few too many. Against hand cannoneers, surely not. Is this really what he wants as a comp? I'll go for the dive in. Trade's about to get shuttered. I'm going to shut it down. DeMu now down to 92 economy. It's been a while since it's been going this low. I think. This whole game is just kind of smushing together at this stage. You know what? I think there should be like a system design where the later the game goes, the more the simulation speeds up. If your PC isn't good enough to keep up with that, that's still a win condition. That's how we used to do it when I was a kid, alright? Good old Red Alert 2, 2v2s, you stalemate, no pop cap, you go up to like 900 Rocketeers, say, I gotta go, send them all into the AoE splash, crash everyone's PC. They just don't make RTSs like they used to. With these population caps and balance. The Black Riders are still just playing flanks now. It's all calmed down. The castle has been dropped. But DeMu's now out of wood, isn't he? Yeah, only 9 woodworkers. He's got that final tree line, and then that's going to be it. He, meanwhile, still got a little bit of leeway to go. Yeah, there's also this tree line. Okay, so good job by DeMu sneaking in there. This tree line is easy peasy for B. He's still at the castle. He's got more wood. For sure. Now looking to get more traders. 5 traders for Ben. B is at 31 traders. Reduction on cost from wonders? Maybe. I still think wonders are just a bad win condition. I think after a certain point in the game, Sacred Site should just have a resume timer. Alright, like after 30 minutes, something like that. If you cap all 3 and you get down to 4 minutes, next time you cap it, start at 4 minutes. You know? And now with the push in, B. Did he get caught with his hand in the wallet? His army's not that big. 30 traders. This might be problematic, actually. DeMu's still with an insane production backlog. So many trades now to snipe. He gets a little bit of freedom to produce more units with lots of traders. In some ways, it might actually help him stabilize here. Looks like he might need it. DeMu. Has he done it? Has he broken B? The traders. They're starting to struggle a little. The men-at-arms are going to break through that front line. DeMu. Where's the next wave? B. Oh, no. DeMu. He had an insane backlog, but the lack of wood and the gold, it's hurting him now. Fixes that. Quickly queues up a bunch more. But that gap might prove problematic. DeMu down to 150 pop. B now riding in to try and block out the traders. I mean, there's just no traders anyway. There's only 6 traders in total for DeMu. I think he's spent on the gold. So many crossbowmen lost, and that's the big problem here. Those cost 80 gold each. B, comp looking good. Hand cannoneers plus the men-at-arms. Black Riders to also assist. Do we have Inspired Warriors buff? I think occasionally. I'd love to see it as a focus. I think like maybe B, the cleaner point for him would have been Inspired Warriors more reliably because it's insane on Black Riders. A 15% damage increase from 45 base is wild levels of DPS. So worth the increase, but even without it, what position to find himself in now, holding at the choke point, stops the 360 surround for the ponies. Few are going to wrap around the back, but not enough. This has to be it. If he doesn't win this fight, he's not going to have the quantities in reserve to come back a second time. B looking to break it. The repro might be fast, but the reinforcements arriving is going to take too long. B able to crack this tough egg. And a flood through now towards the farming area. He's done it. The breakthrough he needed. DeMu, so many men-at-arms queued up, but into mass men-at-arms hand cannoneers. Is there a worse combo to have gilded men-at-arms against? Just needs one more big push. B, but he splits off a lot of troops to go for the traders. The hand cannoneers are in a bit of trouble here, actually. Maybe B, a bit ambitious, but no, the spearmen do recover it. Horseman wave, gonna be bled. Needs to get the troops back up here ASAP, though. Trade is being fully denied. Not that there was much of it. DeMu. It's the 30 men-at-arms will go bust, but he just can't seem to get them out quick enough. 150 pop. He can't get anywhere near the 200 maintain. B, not even coming for the backstab. He heads straight into the farms to hit him in the jugular. He trusts. He knows it should be a stalemate over here. The real damage to be done at the back. Game number 1. DeMu, time and time again. This stopper to him. He's made it to Grand Finals now 3 times. 3 times B has been waiting. And the 3rd time will begin with a win, as it always seems to do. GG. 1 hour, 15 minutes. DeMu has been playing AoE4 for over 9 hours at this point. Has he got the stamina to come back after something like this?